It's time now for the latest in local news. In the news, the Wayne County Board of Education is set to meet this morning at 9 a.m. at the Tech Center as the board will once again discuss the middle school athletic programs. Here today for Wayne County Athletic Director Justin McDonald and Assistant AD Head Football Coach J. Bo Shaw as the athletic department leadership would like to combine the two middle school athletic programs. That's the lone topic on today's called meeting. There's also an executive session to discuss personnel and announcement on who the next principal at Scriven Elementary is expected to be announced after that executive session. WIFO FM will be on hand of a full report on Tuesday's newscast. Also had any important announcement during the Wayne County State playoff game this afternoon here on Big Dog Country at 105.5, which gets underway around 4 p.m. Once again, the middle school athletic program being combined is something that the AD and assistant AD feel will be beneficial to the program and student athletes at both middle schools. At last Tuesday's school board meeting, board member Sharon Daniels stated that she has already decided against the merger, saying her constituents are not in favor of the move. Board member Joe McPipkin said he saw pros and cons either way and wanted to study the issue further. Superintendent this past Tuesday said Tuesday was not the time to vote on the issue. Once again, that's the topic on today's agenda. They meet at 9 a.m. this morning. Have a full report for tomorrow here on the local news. Also meeting this evening will be the Wayne County Commissioners, as today's the first Monday of the month. On the agenda, once again, under old business is to consider and approve the removing of the rapid response position from the EMS. Issue's been tabled twice from their regular April 3rd meeting and from their called work session April 18th. EMS Director Richard Johnson calls it an important position. Would like to see it remain with the EMS. Once again, a final decision is expected to be reached today at tonight's County Commissioners meeting. Other items on the agenda: consider and approve diversified managed IT agreement. Elton Aspinwall on hand to consider and approve bids to repair a 2013 John Deere 750,000 bulldozer. Consider and approve bid to repair a 2012 John Deere 25 OG excavator. Consider and approve bid to repair 2009 International dump truck. Consider and approve bid to repair Volvo excavator with plumbing for hydraulic attachments. Elton Aspinwall on the agenda regarding Joe Naya Road. Consider and approve bids for metal building for fire stations. Consider and approve bids for sale of property, parcel number J9-11, sale of property, parcel J13-83, and property parcel number J8-70. Also consider and approve ordinance amending Chapter 24, titles of fence and miscellaneous provisions for urban camping and improper use of public space. Consider and approve ordinance amending Chapter 24, titled Offense and Miscellaneous Provisions for Disorderly Conduct and Loitering on Private and Public Premises. Consider and approve resolution amending the 2023 general fund budget for ARP. Consider and approve RV park and campground for Twin Ponds on Woodland Drive. Consider and approve tourism board agreement. Consider and approve JC landing wheel agreement. Discussion of EMS truck rotation. Consider and approve special event permit. Jason Weaver, Scriven Mayor, on the agenda regarding recreation in Scriven. Items with the administrator, items with the commissioners. Executive session on the agenda tonight to discuss land acquisition and personnel. And all that taking place tonight at 7 p.m. at the County Commissioners meeting room. And the meeting gets underway at 7 p.m. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor or the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. The Scriven City Council met this past Friday afternoon to discuss budget and the upcoming SPLOS, which Wayne County voters will vote on either this November or March of 2024. That decision has to be made by the county commissioners, but so far no negotiations have taken place between the county and the other three municipalities, Jesup, Odom, and Scriven, as they negotiate how much money each city receives and what the money raised will be used for. Here's Scriven Mayor Jason Weaver talking to his council, saying that he believes the funding should be broken down based on population.
Entities, the other government entities, well, we haven't had a meeting date yet, but they called me wanting to know what percent we wanted. And I said, well, I can't tell you what percent we want because I need to know what your projection is. Well, we don't know what our projection is. I said, well, I don't understand. I mean, you have to have a projection number to start from, you can't tell you can't.
Who's this doing the talking?
This is Kevin and the county, Kevin, Mike, and Miss Amanda. I've talked to all of them at the thing Miss Raquel and I went to, that I forget what the name of it, post-legislative. And he said, well, let's just look at the last one. Well, the last one was negotiated in 2017 and started in 18. Well, it was negotiated on a $21 million what we thought we'd bring in. Well, due to inflation and all, I feel like we're going to bring in a lot more. The school just did theirs on like $30 million. Their projection's $30 million. The numbers are the numbers, so I'm waiting on a number from them And I guess we'll get this when we get into negotiations, because I think it's pretty easy to figure it out. I think you could take the last year of checks that you've received, times it by 12, and then times that number by 6 for 6 years, and you got a projected number, because basically it's nothing but a working number anyway. It doesn't say you're going to collect that much. What matters is what people buy. But what they're concerned about is they project some high number, and then you have a presidential change and numbers fall off. And but that don't, to me, that don't matter. I can tell you I feel like it's going to be more than 21 million. So I looked at percentages. This is what I think, and that's why we're here, so y'all can all talk to me. Personally, in 2018, Scriven had 2.10% is what we got. And we felt like that was a good number in 2018. Mike and them did this. This was before my time, and I had a couple people tell me that Mike did a good job with it. But now, if you go, I feel like the only honest way to give a percent is off a population base, and that's just how I feel. Now, in 2017, when this was negotiated, 23.82% was agreed upon with every entity to pay the GO bonds and pay the hospital off. So immediately that come off the top. So the numbers left was only like 76.18% left to divvy up between the governments, because Scriven, Odom, Jesup, and Wayne County said, we will give you our part to pay off this hospital so we can do it faster. Well, that's been done. So in this SPLOST, we're going to be working off of 100% numbers. So looking at population, Odom has 469 people. This is the 2021 census numbers, and that's the closest numbers we have. Scriven has 770 on the census number. Jesup has 9,899. And then leaves the rest for off of the 30,380 or something in the whole county. Something it's right around that number. I could Google it real quick if you want to get that right number exactly, Bob, before you go. But if you do it off a population base, then we should receive 2.54%. We are 2.54% of the population. So I feel that is our goal number.
Again, those comes as Scriven Mayor Jason Weaver at the work session this past Friday. The City of Scriven prepares for the SPLOST negotiations. City of Scriven says their number one priority with the money will be a trash truck, and they also expect to use funds to purchase new playground equipment for their Grace Community Center, which they state has not been replaced in the last 60 years. And WFOFM continues to follow the story about SPLOST negotiations as they develop. Again, so far, no meetings between the county and the cities have taken place to discuss the SPLOST. Again, the county has to negotiate with the cities of Jesup, Odom, and Scriven before the referendum can be placed on a ballot. Again, they still have to decide whether that vote's going to take place in November of this year or March of next year. City Council of Jesup set to meet 7 p.m. Tuesday. On their agenda under old business discussion of the McMillan Creek Greenway Boardwalk project. Commissioner Stanley Todd has that on the agenda. Under new business, update on the Wayne County Joint Board of Tourism Activities and Financials. Tourism Board Director Heather Altman on hand for that. Discussion of appointment to the Independence Day Board. Discussion to amend the 2022-23 SPLOST budget to purchase a new ladder truck. First reading to the redistricting ordinance with City Attorney Michael Connor. Items with the City Manager, items with the Commissioners, items with the Mayor. All that's set for tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at City Hall. We'll come back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes news, Wayne County Chamber of Commerce Annual Legacy Dinner set for June the 29th at the Pine Forest Country Club. Chamber each year recognizes Small Business of the Year, the Business Leader of the Year, and hands out the James Harper Distinguished Service Award as well. Chamber this time taking nominations for those awards up until May the 5th. If you'd like to nominate someone, simply contact the Chamber of Commerce at 427-2028. But their 11th annual Legacy Dinner is set for June 29th at 7 p.m. at the Pine Forest Country Club. This Thursday is National Day of Prayer, and here in Wayne County, a community prayer service is scheduled for the Wayne County Courthouse in front of the courthouse on Thursday, May 4th at 12 noon. Everyone is invited to attend. And once again, that ceremony this Thursday at 12 noon at the Wayne County Courthouse, again, celebrating the National Day of Prayer. Contract between the county administrator and Paul Droddy will be finalized today. Hope to have the new administrator on the Butch and Bob Show one day this week. Also this Friday, we've been in contact with the governor's office since the end of the legislative session. We're scheduled to have the governor, Brian Kemp, on our show this coming Friday morning. Finally, today marks 2 days since the shooting at the Food Line parking lot, and we still have not been able to receive any information from the Jesup PD. Their comment is still, it's under investigation. And again, we've just not been able to receive any information on that shooting 2 weeks ago. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.